Most men lead lives of quiet desperation. This crisis of meaning is a spiritual product, a spiritual consequence of the wage slavery pervasive in our society today. Getting paid just enough to feed yourself and clock back in the next day. The essence of all slavery consists in taking the product of another's labor by force. It is immaterial whether this force be founded upon ownership of the slave or ownership of the money that he must get to live. The modern world presents people with the prospect of spending decades trapped in a draining routine of waking up, commuting an hour and a half to a fluorescently lit cubicle prison, spending time with people they secretly despise, and commuting back just to sedate themselves to sleep with the drug of their choice. The prospect of this life should scare the shit out of you. At least it does to me. The good news is there are millions of people that live life freely and to the fullest of their potential by leveraging the power of the internet to break the chains of social prescriptions. And spoiler, the only way to escape is to build your own thing. We're going to go quite deep, so if you're looking for a quick fix, this video is probably not for you and you might want to go find your cheap dopamine somewhere else. The trilemma of the past. Freedom is being able to do a lot of what you want when you want it and without constraints. In order to do that, you need time, money, and energy. The famous trilemma of the professional life is that you can only have two out of the three things. You have time and energy in youth, energy and money in maturity, and time and money at old age, but never all three. This belief is wrong, and I have proof. You can have it all. Attaining 3 out of 3 is not only possible, it's been achieved by millions of people already. Leverage your full vitality without constraints on what you want every day of your life. This is not only the key to a good life, it is the definition of freedom. Freedom is the ability to choose what you do, when you do it, where you do it, and with whom you do it. And you can start working towards building it today. Let's get started. The concept of the new rich was introduced by Tim Ferriss in his trailblazing book, The 4-Hour Workweek. He was one of the first to put a name on the digital freedom that could be attained by the rise of internet technology. And with that, started ushering in a renaissance of liberty. Whether you'd like to spend more time with your kids, travel more freely, or just want to avoid having to commute into a part-time prison called office, the definition of freedom varies from person to person. But one thing is shared by all of them. Stop sacrificing today for an elusive tomorrow and take it into your own hands to build time, mobility, and opportunity for yourself and your loved ones. Some money is foundational to freedom. The first step is to define what it is we'd like our freedom to look like. Depending on your vision of freedom, you'll need more or less money to make it happen. The cheaper it is to attain your vision, the less work it will take you to experience that freedom. Still, money is a prerequisite no matter what. You need to feed yourself, you need to house yourself, you need to stay alive. The best outline on getting rich today is provided by internet age philosopher Naval Ravikant in his legendary tweet storm, How to Get Rich Without Getting Lucky. I'll link it in the description below. You will get rich by giving society what it wants, but does not yet know how to get at scale. There's a lot to unpack here, so let's break it down. Figuring out what people want. To find what people want, you'll first need to explore a niche deeply enough to understand the problems experienced by its regulars. A good place to start when finding your niche is following your own curiosity. By following your interests, exploring a niche deeply will feel like play to you when it will feel like work to others. Use that to your advantage. By doing this long enough, you'll reach the frontiers of knowledge. That is the edge of what we know about the field and therefore what we can do within it. You'll see that when looking at the frontier from a distance, its edges look smooth, but once you learn enough to get close to one, they'll turn out to be full of gaps. These gaps are opportunities. They provide you problems to solve for. Try to bridge these gaps with different solutions. Over time, you'll find one that resonates with you and the other members of the niche. When this happens, you'll have found something people actually want. Second, providing the solution at scale. Learn to sell, learn to build. If you can do both, you'll be unstoppable. Packaging your solution, crafting your offer. In order to get rich, you'll need to sell. And in order to sell, you'll need an offer. An offer is the format in which you're going to present potential customers, also known as leads, with the opportunity to give you money in exchange for addressing their problem with your solution. Crafting your offer is not a one and done. It will take consistent customer feedback and iteration to mature into its full form. After figuring out what people want, you can first offer it as a service. That is a done-for-you solution. After providing your offer a few times, you'll start seeing what struggles several of your customers share. That is, what meta problem your service is actually solving. Try to build a digital product that addresses this meta problem in the form of either information, so you don't have to tell them face-to-face every time, such as a course, or a tool, so you don't have to manually go do the thing every single time, but rather use software to do it automatically. Once you have such a digital product, you can now offer your solution as a do-it-yourself or a hybrid between done for you and do-it-yourself. That is, maybe you set them up with the information or the product, and then they can do it themselves. They don't have to rely fully on you the entire time. And this will start to allow you to scale your offering beyond your own time, meaning you will be able to serve more people at once. Distribute your offer. With your offer in mind, you now have to distribute it to potential users, to your leads. You do that by building a funnel. That is, generating traffic, identifying leads, nurturing leads, and educating them about the problem and the solution you offer so they eventually convert into buying customers. The most affordable way to capture and hold attention is content. Get people to notice you and then lead them down a path, a journey of discovery with regards to the problem and the solution you're working on. Attention is captured with hooks, held with valuable content, and finally converted into money with your offer. After educating your audience about the problem and solution, you can present them with your offer. Some of them will convert into buyers. When people give you money for your solution, it is the ultimate form of validation for your offer. Welcome to the world of magic internet money. So finally, to the last part of Naval's tweet, at scale. What does that mean? To scale your offering beyond your own time, meaning you will be able to serve more people at once. Well, let's understand the concept of leverage further. Leverage is a force multiplier for your judgment and should be used to scale your validated solution to more potential customers. There are several kinds of leverage. You can use financial or labor leverage to magnify your efforts beyond your own time by persuading others to join you on your journey. Further, digital forms of leverage, such as code and media, are permissionless, meaning you don't have to ask anybody or convince anybody to use them. Code and media are, quote, the leverage behind the newly rich. You can create software and media that works for you while you sleep. Once again, scaling beyond your own time. Code and media are also the most accessible forms of leverage, as the cost of the digital technology powering them continues to go to zero. This is happening due to AI and the fact that cloud storage and the competition between all of those companies basically is taking the price for hosting and development to zero. Use digital leverage to build a productized version of your solution and rent it as digital real estate. This zero marginal cost of replication of digital leverage will allow you to scale to meet any demand. And that is how you get rich. Now, the blueprint to freedom. With the theory out of the way, let's look at the practical steps you can take today that will help you build your freedom. First, define your freedom. We alluded to this earlier, but everybody has a different definition for freedom. What does it look like for you? Weekly surf outings? Homeschooling your kids? A coffee farm in Costa Rica? Explore precisely what freedom means to you. You want to take it from the abstract and make it tangible, so you know what you're working towards. Once you're done, calculate the actual cost in dollars that it will take for you to acquire this freedom. For example, a coffee farm in Costa Rica requires roughly $500,000 in financing. Homeschooling your kids might require you to feed everyone and house them, and will roughly take $150,000 per year for 12 years. Once you have that number, you know exactly how rich you need to be in order to be free. You're not going to grow rich by just renting your time without any leverage. Which takes us to the fun part. Building your freedom through business. Putting everything together, here's how you will generate the income needed to attain your freedom. First, find a solution. Second, craft an offer. Third, generate traffic. Fourth, educate leads on the problem and the solution. 5, convert them into paying customers. Each of those steps takes iteration, and you will learn based on the feedback you get from your customers. How to start today. If you take one thing away from this video today, it should be the following plan. Find a problem in a niche and solve it. Craft a minimum viable offer, likely going to be a service. Share your progress online while building out the offer and solution to start generating traffic. Convert people into clients by convincing them to give you money in exchange for solving their problem at a bargain they would feel stupid saying no to, especially because getting feedback early on is more important than actually getting money. Finally, build out a funnel of valuable and educational content by accumulating case studies and in this way acquiring an audience along the way. If you're doing tech, writing, or personal development like I do, I recommend starting to build the following funnel. Use X to test ideas and capture attention. Write a newsletter to provide valuable content and educate about the problem and your solution. And 3, sell a digital product by providing value, a transformation, and making people's life easier. If you need some guidance on starting on X, I recently did a video, check it out. It's my experience about getting to 1K followers, which is arguably the hardest part. From there, everything starts compounding. Millions of people live a lifestyle that prioritizes time and mobility over money without having to worry about financial constraints. Realizing that so many people have done it before you, and that by applying sufficient leverage on the right things and in the right direction, you can do it yourself is extremely liberating. Use the blueprint in this video to get you started, and remember it's a marathon. Small, consistent progress is more important than temporary intensity. Even if you can just put in 1 hour, but do it every day for a year, you're going to be way further ahead than if you just binge for one weekend and don't come back. You have two paths ahead. One, continue the grind, trading your precious time for paychecks that are just enough. Or two, take the first step to freedom today by implementing the blueprint. Now you know how to get there. Remember, a year from now, the only thing you'll wish is that you started today. If you found value in this video, hit like, smash subscribe, it means the world to me. And as always, onwards and upwards, my friends. See you in the next video.